Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to our series of building homes for scenarios. Today we're tackling The Alien Stole My Parents, where we have to have one teen, one child, and 1 to 6 Sims, young adult or older. We have to raise the funds and the teen/child's grades before aging up to get the parents back, and it reads, a teen needs to take care of their younger sibling after their parents and the family wallet have been abducted by aliens. Luckily, the aliens were nice enough to leave a note. Their parents will be returned to them once both of the kids raise their grades and some simoleons. Is this teen up for the challenge of raising their kid sibling as well as some funds for the aliens? We'll see. This one was tough. This one was definitely tough. So here we're going to go enter Create a Sim. And I did the same thing I usually do in Create a Sim with these families, is I just kind of randomized and picked which randomized Sims I liked the most. So we came up with this guy was first. We named him Daryl McCord. He is going to be the father of the family, and I just picked the fabulously wealthy aspiration and genius trait, and I think, perfectionist. So I made this guy really uptight. Genius, perfectionist, and ambitious. And then we added his wife. This one was a little more tough when it came to randomizing. I couldn't find one that I liked, so it took me a good amount of time. But after some jumping around, I did land on a nice young lady that I thought fit the role of the mother I was envisioning for this family. So we'll come up on her shortly. I think her name ends up being like Akira or Anika. I don't quite remember, but let's see. Yeah, Anika, there it is. Anika McCord. She has the successful lineage aspiration, I believe. Family-oriented, typical mom traits. You know, family-oriented, good, I think, and neat is what I gave her. I'm pretty sure. It's hard to tell. I made this a while ago. And then we made the teen girl sim. So while we're randomizing that, I'll let you know. This one was tough. I think we had a 26,000 simoleon budget for this house. And I got a little ahead of myself. And I had to go back. So you'll see in the footage where I like double back and I go in and start deleting things and adding debug things instead. And then apparently I'm just terrible at math, because when I went to move the family in, I went, hey, wait a minute. They have 500 extra simoleons. What am I doing? So then I went back and I did this off camera. I cut it out. I went back, and that's when I was like, okay, cool, I can have an outdoor trash can. I can have an actual seating area outside and some planter boxes because I have this extra money I didn't realize that I had. It was ridiculous. I don't know how it happened. But either way, maybe it's just depreciation because I had my playtesters in there. I don't know, man. How math works in The Sims. I mean, have you seen the bill system? It's ridiculous. Anyway, so you saw how I made the children. We have Jasmine is the teen. Travis is the child, which is funny. That's my real life youngest child's name. I think that's funny. So here's the family all made. And then we are going to jump into the playtester sims and the start of our home being created. I did, this one is not a tiny home. I tried, but even with the 100 tiles, I'm like, no, this just isn't going to work, because I needed at least 2 bedrooms, and I knew that I wanted 2 bathrooms. And I wanted a little backyard area, you know, it just wasn't going to work. And I wanted to be able to use like the roof tile pieces, like you know what I mean, the floor to pull over so that I can actually have some roof on the overhang on the porch. And that's not possible because it adds tile count. Anyway, that's just what we were left with. So I said, all right, then scratch the tiny home idea. This is just a family home. And it's built on the Sequoia Cottage lot. Again, another 30 by 20, so very common size lot, I guess, in this game. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Kids are napping, and I feel like I should be too. And after a little bit of fiddling around with the roof, I really like how it came out. I was having some trouble with it, and I did a lot of cutting and pausing my footage because it was just giving me such a rough time. But it does end up looking nice at the end, and this is what I came up with as a basic shape. Now, obviously upstairs looks pretty big right now, but if you want to include a bathroom and the parents' room and children's room, it actually isn't that big. So I do end up adding a little bump out upstairs, and that ends up being a shared bedroom for the teen and child. And my theory with this family is that they have always lived in an apartment or a rented home of sorts, and the father is very ambitious, so he's been working a lot, but they finally saved up and they got this house. But the problem is they moved in and they have minimal furniture because they were living in rentals or apartments. And that is why the home is so sparsely decorated, is because they either used what was already at the house, what was already in place, or whatever minimal furniture they had. And they do plan on adding an addition for the teen to have her own bedroom later, but then just as they were getting settled and figuring out what their next move was, the parents get abducted. And now the teen and the child are left sharing a room. Now, although while the parents are away, she can also sleep in their room if she chooses. So there's that. That is the plan that we're going for, is that they planned on making a teen's room separate, but they just hadn't gotten there yet. So that is my explanation for why they have to share a room, and not just because I planned poorly. Here's the front porch area, and just basic shape. I do end up changing a bunch of stuff later on, but for now it is this kind of grayish, brownish wood texture, and then later on I think I change everything to white just because it looked better. It just looked a little cleaner and not as strange. So for now it is this setup. And I use the Parenthood windows, this big 3-pane window. I thought it looked really nice and let in a lot of natural light into the kitchen. I pretty much use this window all throughout the exterior of the home, both upstairs and downstairs. And I do end up, where that corner cabinet is, I end up deleting that countertop and adding a little side door to the front deck. But for now, it is the little corner cabinet piece. And then I put an upper cabinet also up on the corner wall to the ceiling. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Here we're moving into the living room, though. I picked this TV, which I end up replacing with the less expensive sitting TV. It sits on a console table, but for now I'm just doing placement furniture. I knew I wanted to use this kind of furniture, but I didn't know if this was going to be the end result. And it was not, because I couldn't afford that big TV, even though it's not that large. I had to get rid of a chair there. I said there's no reason to have 6 chairs. We only have, 4 Sims. We can make do. And here I am shrinking the upstairs a little bit, and then I will be adding another separate bump out off to the side to account for the child's room right here, the shared bedroom. This was a tough one, you guys. This one took me a long time. This one took me a couple days, I think, between rearranging and replanning, and going through all the footage was exhausting because I wasn't satisfied with half of what I did. So hopefully you guys don't hate it. I am on the fence whether or not I hate it build-wise. But I will say, this is the first scenario that I've built for where I was like, I think I could probably play this family like in my downtime. This might be fun to see how it goes. I don't know. Let me know if you'd like any updates on how the scenario goes, because I might actually play this one instead of just deleting it after the build is completed. But here is the shared child and teen's bedroom. I just added a dresser. And then the parents' room is very boring and very basic. There's nothing in there right now besides a bed. You'll see I go a little bit more into it here. I was trying to figure out what orientation I wanted to go with for the bed in general. And then I also made the bedroom and the bathroom a little skinnier. That took me a long time. The parents' bedroom is very sad and very basic, and I'm not super duper happy with it, but it is what we had. And like I said, they just moved in, they had minimal furniture, and before they even got a chance to really finish decorating or getting the place prettied up, the parents got abducted by aliens. So maybe the dad is a scientist or something, and that's why he got abducted by aliens. I'm not 100% sure. Oh my gosh, it was so weird. I was like, wait a minute, what kind of storyline am I going to use here? Because the house is like so not decorated. I just ran out of money. I really wanted a nice framework for this home, so that is why I was like more focused on that. And then at the end I said, oh no, I have like no money left and it looks so ugly. I don't know, I hope you guys don't think so. Here's a console table for the large TV. And then I put this little Dream Home Decorator desk over in the corner here. I really like that one. I do end up changing the swatch on it, but I keep it. And this base game chair is so ugly, but I actually like it in this space because it makes it a little bit more modern almost. Here in the kitchen, I'm putting up some upper cabinets. And then, obviously, I end up getting rid of that corner cabinet over there and the corner countertop and just making that a door. But for now, this was the idea that I had. And then I had a little tiny sized down smoke detector this time. I made sure I included that and didn't forget I have to go back. So at least there's that. I added these 2 extra special windows here in the back and just kind of alt placed them together so that they would make sense. I thought that looked nice. And here I am changing the banister and the railing on the front porch, and I think I also end up changing it on the steps as well. Over here, this little bathroom, I moved the toilet and sink pretty close together, and then what I did was I threw a shower in and I brought in my play tester, and it worked. So I switched the orientation ever so slightly so that it would make more sense with gameplay. Otherwise the shower kind of got in the way and I just found it very distracting. And then up here I just used the same tile, same base game tile for the floor and walls, and I used this debug cable knit rug, which is from Nifty Knitting, and I sized it down as a bath mat to try to save some money. Again, very minimally decorated bathroom. They do have toilet paper. Both bathrooms have toilet paper, and the upstairs bathroom has a wall towel. They both have mirrors. That's pretty much it. Nothing special. Up here in the kid and teens room is pretty much the only decorated, overly decorated room, I would say. But I still ended up having to go back and change things. See the height chart with the aliens on it abducting a cow? I just thought that was too perfect. I had to use that for this scenario. It's just, I couldn't. And then I just added some plain base game curtains, and I did put in some sheer curtains behind the bed over top of the bay window over here. I end up having to get rid of those though, which is very sad because I thought that they looked really pretty, just the sheer curtains. And like maybe the big sister put those up because she wanted just a little something up there on her top bunk to like make it feel like her own little space because she had just to share it with her kid brother, but not so much. And my theory also with that room's wallpaper and rug choice is that used to be a nursery for the old family who lived here, and they just had to keep the wallpaper and rug the same for now, but they can always change it later. Very standard linoleum floor, nice and cheap. I tried to keep the floorboards cheap throughout the home, but I just couldn't find ones that I liked, so I went with this tone, which I think is base game, but it is a little expensive, admittedly. And then the front steps, or the front porch, is that like paver texture. I thought that was really cute, and I changed changing the swatches of a bunch of stuff. So that is the living room couch is that blue tone. I changed the desk also to match, and the rolling chair matches the dining chairs. And I think that worked out really nice. I like the dark wood, but also the white accent painted pieces in the room. I don't know. It's very typical suburban home, at least for the time period when I was a kid. And it just made me feel like, this reminds me of like some of my friends' houses, or some aspects remind me of what my parents' house used to look like when I lived there and I was a kid. So that is why I threw in a couple little, maybe they are outdated details, but you know what? It gave me the warm and fuzzies because it made me feel at home. That's why I did the way I did. And this house is outdated. They haven't had a chance to redo it yet. Maybe the family hadn't updated it, so they'll get around to it maybe once they get back from their alien abduction. Anyway, here's back to the kid/teens room. Just throwing some stuff up on the wall. We have a sports poster and some art drawings and sketches. And then I think I put up some like kids crafts over behind the mirror. I do get rid of a bunch of decorations here. I think I keep that lightning bolt neon light up there. That is for the teen daughter. But really, the rest of this room, I don't do much with. I keep the rainbow neon light on the dresser there, but I think I get rid of the sports equipment. I think I get rid of the sports poster. I just couldn't do it. And I think I replaced the dresser with a kid's dresser, and I repurposed that dresser they have currently into the parents' room. I actually like this color scheme, by the way, for the parents' room, and I don't know why I ended up changing it to this more gray tone. Maybe because I wanted it to look more boring, the bed, but I really liked that blue. Anywho, back here. So I sized down that end table there from high school years, which is why I had to use the red shelf to place the lamp, because it was snapping to the normal height of the end table. Just a little side note. And then over here, I'm just adding the plain towel on the wall, the cheapest one that we have available. And I moved that dresser into the parents' room, and a little plant in the upstairs hallway to make it look a tiny bit less sad. Deleting some of the plain saucer lights and throwing in some overhead lights. This one's from Cottage Living. I use in the upstairs hallway and also the kitchen. In the dining room, I use this basket light from Eco Lifestyle, just above the dining room table, and I think it looks really cute. And I think on the desk, I put a little desk light from Discovery University, and I think that works really well also. Then I think I just kind of add some picture frames and some extra lighting over here in the entryway, and we move on to a couple more wall decorations. Oh, that is a marriage certificate from the Growing Together pack, which is super cute. And here's just a little front entryway mat. I thought that was adorable and very typical, I would say. And I never used this copper range hood, but I thought it looked really nice in here for some reason. Maybe it's because it matches the tile ever so slightly because of the orange tones. And these curtains I sized down with tool mod and raised and lowered ever so slightly just to get it to really fit with what I had in mind. And I did the same on the other side later on, which you'll see in screenshots. Pretty sure I cut it out, or at least cut it out until later on because it was just too much. Now here, trying to do some kind of decoration in the kitchen, because as you can see I have 3 simoleons left. I used my little tool mod trick to move and rotate this spoon and spatula and put it in the debug galvanized pitcher. Very nice, very nice. Almost everything for the rest of this footage until the landscaping gets redone is because I didn't have any money. I was using all debug. So here's these big cypress trees I sized down and put in the debug pots. So everything here is free. It's quite nice. It's a nice little trick. If you don't know how to access debug, you do Control-Shift-C on PC. And I think for Mac it's Command-Shift-C. And it is, first of all, I think you have to do testing cheats true. So testing cheats, one word, space true. And then you type... Oh, I forget. See, now I forget. Enable. Oh man, I forget. I'm going to have to look it up, and I'll pop up the 2 things on the screen, the 2 cheats to find the debug and live edit. See, I use organized debug, and I don't have to type them in anymore because they are over there in the bottom right corner. You can see where it says debug and live edit, and you can just select them in the organized debug menu and they just pop up. You don't have to type it in. Same thing with move objects on. So I don't have to worry about it. It's just always on. But it's quite nice, but it also kind of hinders me because then I don't know how to tell you guys without the mod how to access it. So I'm sorry. I will find that for you though. Here's just adding some more debug and live edit trees. And then we go into decorating the backyard, which I think I only show a little bit of. Yeah, I only show a little bit of this because it was just too much. I had to cut out so much footage already, and I wanted to keep this under half an hour video because I am trying to keep this series at least pretty short. I know sometimes I like watching long videos, but majority of the time, like a little 15-minute video, 20-minute video is enough. I don't have all the free time in the world, so it was nice to try to keep these videos shorter, and that was my goal for this series. And here I have a little hanging plant, which is in debug also, that I'm using tool mod for. I just wanted to show you other uses for the tool mod in case you were curious. Moved that guy up there, and it looks like it's just hanging. I think I minimized it a little bit too because it was kind of awkward. And here I am after figuring out I had extra money. You'll see I magically have 500 simoleons, well now 435, 290. And I had to repaint the wall. Like, I had no money left. I was so concerned. And then I realized I did the math wrong, or somewhere the math was wrong. Very odd. I don't know how that works out. I don't know. I plead the I'm just gonna play dumb here because I have no idea. But here we are in the backyard finishing up with this debug light post. I think it's from City Living Debug. It's quite handy. It is a little big, which is why I sized it down, but it still works. The only thing is there's no end post for it. So if you don't, if you don't have it like going right to the house and connecting, you kind of have to find another thing to use. And I found this other pole in Debug, also quite handy. And that is the backyard. We have some planter boxes, some nice landscaping, some gardening stuff scattered about, the Debug swing set. And here we are cutting to the family. So the scenario goals are: we have to have 15,000 simoleons, raise the child's grade and teen's grade to an A, complete an aspiration for the child sim, group cook together, hence the large kitchen, have the teen get a part-time job, and also hire a nanny. Whew. And those are the goals for the scenario. I have not done this scenario before, but I've seen other simmers do it, and it looks quite interesting. Poof. There are the parents, gone, abducted, just randomly just disappear. I wish they actually did get abducted with like the alien animation. That would be cool. Anyway, so here we are. This is the finished home. We have a nice little living room set up here with an easel for making money, and also the computer to pick up like odd jobs for the teen to get a job, sell things, etc. Nice little dining area, nothing too crazy, but enough chairs, only 4 now. You see how everything kind of dwindled down. But in the kitchen we have a little kitchen dining table. There's that little side door there. That is from Laundry Day. That one's from Laundry Day, so sorry. Got all tripped up there, but I think the kitchen and dining and living room came out really nice. Here's the much more sparsely decorated bedroom. I still think it looks cute though. I really like that. I like the bedroom setup looking back at it now. Parents' bedroom and upstairs bathroom, also quite boring, but we do what we can. And that is basically it. Just gonna take a quick look around the landscaping a little bit more. So the swing set and the monkey bars are, in fact, Debug items. You can't actually use them, but you can always replace them with the actual items you can use later on. Here are the planter boxes. I have parsley, grapevine, and chrysanthemum planted already for you, so you can just continue taking care of them, harvest them, sell them. That does count towards your simoleons at the end of the scenario, which is quite nice. And I'm quite pleased with the way this house came out, even though it did give me a challenge with the budget and how many sims were in the home, because I'm so used to just building for one sim with these scenarios. But overall, I was very satisfied. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and you can leave a comment if you have a specific scenario you want to see next, and you can choose from the list that is in the description box. But I will leave you here to enjoy the screenshots and the music, and I'm just so glad that you joined me here today. I enjoyed this one, and I hope you did too. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.